Hey, good morning, y'all. I know it's early. It's like, what, 6:30? But I'm up. Yeah, I know I get up early in the morning, y'all. Reason I get up so, I've never been able to sleep late. Pretty much since I can remember. I've never been a late person. I've never been one to sleep late. I got to be really tired to sleep late, and I got to be really tired to get back in the bed, or I got to be sick. So I'm not a sleeper later. I always been one to rise and shine early. But I'm on here early because I got Barry here. And another reason I get up so early and I'm up all day is because Barry works nights, and when he comes home, I don't want to disturb him. But he be wandering around all morning to about 11 o'clock. But if he goes to bed, I don't like to disturb him, so I usually get up when he comes in and, dress or do what I need to do in our bedroom and bathroom so that, he can lay down and get some rest and I don't disturb him. But anyway, I am on here again, y'all. I got to figure out how to post my lives to YouTube. I'm going to get Brian to do them for me because I get tired of making 2 videos. But anyway, I'm back on here. It's almost the end of the week, y'all, so it's almost time for me to start winding down. But I wanted to get on here. Let me put my glasses on, y'all. But I wanted to get on here. Today is, what's today, y'all? Today is How to Care for Your Plant Day. So I don't do plant videos or stuff like that. I have about 30 plants, maybe more. I have about 30 or 40 plants in my house. I say about 30. So I have a lot of plants all throughout my house. I used to have them in my bedrooms, but I don't anymore because Brian doesn't like all that light in his room, and Barry works nights. So I had to take the plants out of my bedrooms because they weren't doing well, because they weren't getting enough light, because they don't like Barry works nights. So during the day, if he's sleeping, the curtains are closed. The blackouts, we have blackout curtains in Brian's and my room, so it's pretty dark. So they ain't getting no light. So I had to take them out. I even had to take my big baby out because she had kind of died, and I had to repurpose her and start her and split her up into like 3 or 4 different plants. But anyway, like I told you guys, gardening, yes, I do follow a lot of gardening people to learn a lot. Plants, no. I'm pretty good on growing my own plants, as you see back here. This is one of my trays. This right here is my elephant ears right here. That came, I brought them in the house. I was debating whether to leave it outside and go frost to see if it'd come back, but I decided to bring it in. So this is my elephant ear, right there, y'all. That's my palm. I got like a jungle over here. I got a jungle everywhere. so this, y'all, I'm just flip it around. Let me flip it around, y'all. So this is one plant area. This is just one. These are my 2, what are these? I forgot what they call these. But this is my 2 babies here. This used to be Elena's, and this used to be the kids. But when I've had this little one ever since Elena was little, because when she was a baby, I gave it to the kids when she was a baby, and I came over to the house one day, and the plant was sitting out. She had uprooted it and everything, and she was like, "My plant, Granny, mine." So I was like, "Oh no, I'm taking you home," because the roots was all out. It was laying on the table. Bree was like, "Rescue it." So that's theirs, and this is mine. But this is how my whole house looks, y'all, as you see. My downstairs, I have a tremendous amount of plants in my house, everywhere. I have plants, except for my bedrooms. So I have plants in my bathrooms. I have plants in my living room, in my family room. My grandkids call this my greenhouse, but my greenhouse is downstairs. So I'm taking her downstairs. So I have an abundance of plants, y'all. Let me, and I do this all the time. Let me see if I cut this light on. That is my pineapple. That's my pineapple plant. This plant here is where me and the boys did it. This pineapple plant, we actually started this. Me and Noah started a pineapple plant. We have been trying to start it ever since we moved here. So this is like this is actually 2 plants. So this it's like maybe part of it is like 2 years old. No, part of it is like 3 years old. The other part is like 2. We haven't produced a pineapple yet. So this was kind of our experiment where this is our pineapple plant. Hopefully one day it'll grow a pineapple. We'll see. Noah would be so happy if it would. But this is me and the kids' pineapple plant. Let me go downstairs, y'all. Sorry, it's dark. I just want to show y'all when I say I have a lot of plants. I have a lot of plants in my house, y'all. So let me show y'all. I have a lot of plants. I have a plant. So this is my plant over here. So I have an abundance of plants. So this is my whole plant area here. This is downstairs. I don't know how many plants I got over here. Then I have an abundance of plants in the corner over here. I don't know what Brie was mad at me because I bought this. This is a palm over here. And it's like a palm tree, but it's you have to kind of keep it away. Make sure your kids don't really touch it. That's my outside plants. So a few of them I bring in the house. They're outside plants, and I bring them in for the winter. So that's one of them, my outsides. Yeah, see, I have plants. I have plants everywhere, y'all. Oh, Mr. Bond's home, y'all. So I even have this is my little one. It comes up when it gets ready, y'all. I even have a little plant in the window. So I have plants everywhere. So I'm pretty good at plant growing. So I don't follow anybody when it comes to plant because I'm pretty good at it. So let me go back in my plant room. I got to hurry up because he won't go to the stove. So anyway, I wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about, this is my Monstera. I had to break it down in 3 different plants because it kind of died. So I want to get on here and talk to you guys real quick about winter plant care. So say if you got some plants for the winter, or you want to buy some plants, or you can buy plants in the winter, but you have to care for them. Winter, I would say summer and spring caring for your plants is different than winter caring for your plants, especially if you live in a colder climate. What I have learned, or what I do is, a lot of people overwater and over-fertilize. They do. They water too much and they fertilize too much. When I began my in-house plant journey, I used to water all the time. I used to water my plants every other day or something like that. And then I would repot them every 3 months now. And they weren't getting the growth like they used to. So as I learned, I stopped doing that. If you're a beginner planter, especially if you're planting in the wintertime, my big thing that I tell you, what I tell everybody is, I don't fertilize unless if I have fertilized my plants for the summer or the late fall, I do not put fertilizer on my plants in the wintertime. I don't repot my plants in the wintertime, especially my established plants. I do not fertilize, and not unless they are really, really desperate and they're looking really bad. I do not put fertilizer on my plants in the winter, a lot of it, because they're already struggling, and you're struggling to get them. That fertilizer is making to me, is making them struggle even more, because now they got all this nutrient in it, and please, whatever you do not plant, especially if you have some established plants, do not, unless they're really, really looking bad, do not replant or repot your plants in the wintertime. That's a no. Because they are already struggling in the wintertime to adjust to, especially you live in a colder climate. They're adjusting to colder air. They are adjusting to less humidity. They are adjusting to a different climate. So, especially tropics, do not repot those in the winter. If I'm going to repot something, especially tropics, I don't repot all the time. Now what I do is, because most of my plants in my house are established, I'll check my soil. I usually do that like in September or the end of August. I check my soil. If they need soil, if the soil needs cleaning, I clean it then. And I give them a good fertilization. That's in August and September. I do not, unless they're really struggling, I do not repot or put a lot of fertilizer in my plants in the winter. No. Also, what you need to do is, second thing, your plants are the leaves on your plants gonna die. They're gonna die. That's gonna happen. Make sure to check your plant leaves. I usually check mine every other day. I go around the house and I look and I check for my plants, make sure I know dead. Make sure that you're pulling off any dead off of your plants. Any dead leaves, any dead branches. Make sure you cut them, or I cut mine. I don't pull them. I make sure to cut all dead off of my plants. I don't leave any dead. So every other day, that's what I mainly do, is cut leaves off my plants. Number 3, and this is a good one too. Number 3 is, if you see your plants are going to struggle. Like I tell you, it is wintertime. They're going to do that. Number 3 is to do not overwater your plants. Don't do it. If you have plants that are established, you do not, and you've had them for a while, you do not need to water them all the time. All my plants in my house are on a plant, what I call a plant schedule. I water my plants either on a 5th-day schedule or on a 7th-day schedule. So I usually water my plants on a Saturday or a Friday every week. I don't change. I don't water them. And not unless they just look really struggling, I might add a little water to it. But I do not consistently put water in my plants in the wintertime. I don't do it in the summertime. My plants always stay on a plant. Once they're established, they stay on a plant schedule. I only water my house plants. Now, my plants are really established because I've had them most of them I've had them a long time. So I only water them once a week on a Friday or on a Saturday. That way I can remember weekend. I don't water my plants all the time. No, I don't water them every day. I don't water them every other day. I water my plants once a week. Now, if you have some plants that are struggling, then I will go in and I will add water, but I do not make it a habit of watering because you will overwater your plants. And in the wintertime, they are especially struggling. You putting all that water in there, and the air is already cool, so it's making it harder for that water to absorb. So I do not, unless they are struggling really bad, I will go in and water them, but I try to keep my plants on a plant schedule and water them once a week. Either a 5-day schedule or a 7-day schedule, not unless they are extremely struggling. Then I go in there. And then if they're extremely struggling, what I usually do is I will go in and water them, and then I will go in and I will do a hydrogen peroxide water, which is 2 parts water to 1 part hydrogen peroxide. It's usually like if I have my little squirt bottle, I think somebody Booty got a hold of it. I don't see my squirt, so that means somewhere down here she got hold and put it somewhere, because she always trying to. I have to stop her too from watering all the time, because she will try it, yeah. She doesn't do it anymore more like she used to when she was. So she doesn't. Plus she in school now, so she ain't got time for me. So she don't do it like she used to, but she used to water my. I used to have to catch it from watering my plants all the time. Like, no. So she do water. So it's like 2 parts water to 1 part hydrogen peroxide. So it might be like a teaspoon. If I have a little spray bottle, I put the water in there, and then I might put a teaspoon and a half or a teaspoon of hydrogen peroxide. And then I don't spray the root with them. I spray around the root, because it might need some clean, and it might need a boost, or a little bit of air or hydration. So that's how I hydrate my plants. A little bit of hydrogen peroxide into a little bit of water. And then what's that? Number 4. Always, always, always start watering your plants from the root out. I don't never water no plant leaves. If you see people spraying leaves, I don't do all that. Now, I might do a little bit in the summertime when it's hot and they leaves needs watering. But in the wintertime, I am not watering their leafage. I only water the root. I start from the root and I work my way out. So that means my root is getting as much hydration as it needs. And then I work my way out, and then I start more in the root, work my way out to the outer soil, and the outer soil gets the least amount of water. So always start to water your plants from the root. And let's see, I think I pretty much got. Oh, lastly, too, like I told y'all, do not I don't spray my plant leaves. Sorry. And if I need to clean them, I always clean my leaves. I just wipe them off with a little cloth or a little damp cloth. But I don't even do that this time of year because it's too cold. I ain't freezing my leaves out. Because your house sometimes does. Even if you have heat on, sometimes the heat clips off at night and your house catches a chill. So that's why I don't really water. I don't water my plant leaves. So those are my tips. Like I said, I don't do all. If you see people doing all that extra, I don't do all that. And another thing is, if you feel that you need so every once in a while, I have a little humidifier here. Every once in a while, let me show y'all. See my little humidifier right there. Every once in a while, I might turn it on to give my plant some humidity because the area is dry. So I might see I got plants everywhere, y'all. So this is my outside stuff here, right? It kind of struggling. Every once in a while, I do give my plants a little humidity. So I turn on a humidifier. I have a little one that I gave it to Brian, but I ordered some more. I have a little one for downstairs. Plus, I need it for myself because the area in here gets very dry. I live in a farmland area, and for some reason, when it gets cold and it's wintry, it's very, very dry. That's why I have so many respiratory problems in the wintertime, too, is because the air is so dry here. My grandkids, too. So I keep a humidifier. I have a big one in my room, and I have one in here. I just gave Brian my small one. And I just ordered a few more from Temu, my favorite joint. So they were reasonably priced. So I just got a couple of small ones, one for myself, and I got to get a couple of Brianna. So those are my winter plant tips, guys, for the winter. If you have house plants. Don't do too much extra in the wintertime. Don't give them too extra because you will kill them off. Because they're already struggling to try to survive in the wintertime. You putting all that water and all that extra stuff. They don't need all that, y'all. So I'm going to go through this list right fast. The people that I follow on YouTube, I'm going to start with my gardening list. So these are the people that I enjoy. I have a bunch of, like I told you, I'm a YouTube junkie. So I'm going to give you these names. If you like to watch them, most of them they're pretty good, especially if you're a person who's considering gardening and you want to start gardening. He's like, I don't know nothing about it, but I want to do it, but I don't know anything about it. These are some people, or you want a flower, or you want to do your outside, start doing flower gardens on the outside or vegetable gardens. These people are pretty good. And I have quite a few. It's like 18 people. So I have quite a few. So I'm going to read the names out. These people are on YouTube. They have YouTube pages. They're pretty big and they're pretty good. Some of them do also have Facebook pages and Instagram pages. So number one is Garden Queen. I really like her. She's in St. Louis. She's not a vegetable gardener, but she is a plant gardener, and her stuff is very beautiful. And she does it in a small space, and it looks like a park. But it's beautiful. So it's Garden Queen. The next person is Rustic Gardener. These are all YouTube pages. You can Google them. You can go on YouTube and look them up. So the first one is Garden Queen. Next one is The Rustic Gardener. He's very informative. So I'm not going to give you information on all of them. The next one is Broke Gardener. He's a black guy. He's funny. He say he broke, but he be out there in that vegetable garden. He be having it going on. So the next one is plant-based beauty Helen H. I'm gonna say that again. It's plant-based beauty Helen H. I really like her a lot. Epic Gardener is one of my favorites. Be Better Gardener, the Millennial Gardener, Our Freedom Song, Garden Answer, Big City Gardener, the Gardening Channel, let's see. Channel James Perigot, Prigiot, I believe that's his name. Yellow Door Urban Homestead, Team Benson, the Urban Harvest is homegrown. Is it homegrown? The Urban Garden, yes, the Urban Harvest. I'm sorry, the Urban Harvest Homegrown Education. She's a Mad Gardener, Mustard Seed Homestead, Faith Family Homestead, and Hooked and Rooted. So those are the people that I like to follow. If you can't catch it, you can inbox me or whatever, and I'll give you the names again if you want to watch. If you want to consider gardening, and you don't know where to start, and even if you want to do outside, say if you want to be one of those beautiful outside flower gardens or landscaping or vegetable garden, so these people are really great. And mind you, and another thing I want to bring up, I gave you these names, but some of these people may not live in your area or your zone. I watch, these are bad. Two of these people are from Arizona. So when you're watching these gardening channels, it's good to watch just to see what they're doing, but be mindful that they might not be in your zone or in your area. So, just to let you know, because I don't want you to say, well, you made me watch, because let me see which, Team Benson. Team Benson is, Team Benson Homestead. She's from Arizona, and I really enjoy her because she has I watch her because I enjoy her a lot. She is very informative, but she's from Arizona, so her zone and excuse me, her growing zone is not the same as my growing zone, but I enjoy watching her. She gardeners from her. She lives in a townhome, and she has this beautiful, and she's like, it's like her backyard is like bricks, because in Arizona, they have a lot of bricks. So her backyard is area is brick, but she has this massive garden in her backyard. And it's beautiful. So I really like her, but she is from Arizona. So some of these names that I give you, this is a mass. These names, I kind of comprise this from different zones, different areas. So some of these may be mindful when you watch some of them, what zone they're in and what location they're in, what area. And be mindful that their growing technique might not be the same as yours. Or their growing area might not be the same as yours. So their production and when they start gardening and when they start their growth process might be different from yours because they're in different areas. Oh, and another thing I wanted to bring up to you, which I forgot yesterday, I wanted to bring up to you about resources, what to look for when you're going. You have to look for zone areas. Zone, y'all. So look for your zone area when you are gardening outside. You must take in consideration what zone you are in. You can look up you can Google what zone you're in. The reason you have to be mindful of your zone area is because a person in Arizona might be able to grow stuff year round, or they might be able to start their seeds and their flowers and different things in February because they're in a warmer climate, or in Florida. You that live in the Midwest like me, you might not be able to start certain things till March or April Or if you're starting your seeds, you might not be able to start your seeds. It might not be productive for you to start. Say if you want to start seeds in your house, you might not be able to do that until late February because of the zone you're in. You don't want to start stuff too soon or too late when it comes to gardening, especially your seeds and your flowers, because it all depends on your area that you live in. It is called zone areas. So for gardening, you must look for your zone. You put your zip code in. You can do it. The Farmer's Almanac is good. You can Google it, and it will tell you. You just put in your zip code, and it will tell you what zone you are in. And that is what you go by when you start stuff outside. You must go by your zone. That's it, y'all. Another good resources to look at is Farmer's Almanac. They do have an online site. Look at Farmer's Almanac. They're great. It will tell you about your zone you're in, when to start certain things. Just Google it. But make sure when you are starting to garden, to look at your zone. Do not go on these pages. Good morning. Do not go and start looking at YouTube. I gave you guys a bunch of YouTube names, but don't start looking at them because these people are from all over the country. They're from different areas. I watch different areas. But you have to look at your zone. Make sure to watch your zone when you are gardening outside. You must, even with your plant care on the inside. Zone. So keep in mind, when you're gardening, when you start your outdoor flowers, if you're starting your flowers on the inside, your seeds and everything else, please make sure to look at what zone you are in. I can't stress that enough. Zone when it comes to gardening. Because you have to go by what zone. Your area that you're in, is a zone. So you have to, each part of your area is a zone. And believe it or not, I live in Central Illinois now and Chicago. Chicago is actually a different zone. We used to be under the same zone as Chicago, but over the last year or two, the zone saying 2 years, because of climate change and the different things that's going on in our climate, my zone has changed. So I'm not in the same zone anymore as growing zone as Chicago's growing zone. So Chicago growing zone is now a 5B. I'm now a 6A. So I can't grow my stuff the same way as people at Chicago grow their stuff, because we're different, totally different zones. And that's amazing. We're in the same state, but we're in this different zoning areas when it comes to growing. So please, I can't stress this enough before I leave off. Please, gardening next year, buying plants, buying flowers, gardening, please watch your zone. And another thing, if you want to find out how to grow stuff and how to start seeds or flowers in your zone, you can check certain flowers. Say if you go to a garden center, most big box stores don't. Some of them will have a list for your gardening zone. But if you go to a gardening center, or you can even Google it online, you can get lists of different flowers, when to start in your zone, your flowers. I have my garden center, which is right around the corner from my house. They always put out a list every year, a zone list of the flowers, when to start and when to start your seeds. I'm here by University of Illinois, and they always have a list. So you can Google your list, and there are lists out there to show you when to start your flowers, when to start your seeds. You just have to Google it. And Farmer's Almanac also. So Farmer's Almanac is also a good, has a list that comes out every year as to when you can start your seeds and start your flowers. Very good. But like I said, you can Google it, or if you have a flower center in your area, you can check with them. They sometimes put out lists. Or if you have a university or a college in your area, just go on there and Google it. They might have it. They might. So get off of here. I've been on here long enough, y'all. Everybody have a good day. Be great. Be safe. Don't worry about tomorrow, y'all. Don't worry about yesterday. Focus on the day of the Lord. Let's give you peace and blessings. Enjoy your day. And don't forget, gardening zone. Y'all have a good day. Bye.